Hey everybody, it's me, Dread Zombie or Gavin. I know it's been a pretty long while since I've kind of recorded and uploaded on this channel again. I would like to apologize for that. I've been really busy on just school and other things in my life. For instance, I'm in this new project called the Fazbear Chronicles. It's been out for a while. The first 4 episodes are out, I believe. I'm in episode 3. I voice Golden Freddy or Fredbear. I am going to be in a lot more episodes, I'll tell you that, but just right now I'm not. That's the only episode I'm really in. If you guys want to see me in that, please support that and go ahead. But I came back because I saw this body cam police footage of popular MMOs getting arrested again. Honestly, seeing this for a second time really just breaks my heart, because this whole history of popular MMOs and his whole life after the breakup with his girlfriend Jen, it's just completely distraught. You know what I mean? It's just, wow. He had so much, and it just all goes downhill. If you don't know who Popular MMOs is, he is just another Minecraft YouTuber that we've all seen growing up, right? He uploaded these Minecraft videos of his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend Jen, and he would just upload a lot of Lucky Block videos. You know what I mean? Those Lucky Block videos that you've always seen growing up. Yeah, he was probably in a couple of those with his girlfriend, and they broke up. They broke up back in I think it was 2019, somewhere around there. They broke up. It was a mutual breakup. She wanted kids. You know, he really didn't want kids, and Jen just wanted to start her own family. So they were like, you know what, we just ain't working. Maybe we should just break up. Pat said okay. A couple months after they broke up, they finally uploaded a video about it. I can understand why they waited so long, because a couple months, like in 2019, there was a span where they were just pretending to be together. You know what I mean? They were just like, oh, we're still together, so happy. It's literally like seeing your parents break up. You know what I mean? And it broke a lot of people growing up watching that channel's hearts. I mean, this is like the Minecraft YouTube couple. You know what I mean? Jen and Pat. You can't have popular MMOs without Jen. You know, it's just over for Jen. What are they gonna happen? And he's like, no, she's still gonna be in videos. We're gonna be good friends. It's all gonna work out just fine, right? And it did for a little bit. It did for a long while. I'd say like a year, maybe 2, until eventually Jen started blossoming her life. She found a new man, and she wanted to live her life, so she started stepping away from the YouTube, because she only did YouTube for, well, her ex-boyfriend, you know, Pat. She only did it for him because she used to love him. And now that she found a new guy and is going to try to start a family with him, she doesn't really want to be a part of that anymore. She wants to start a life. And that's completely understandable. I'm glad Jen found someone. From what I heard right now, Jen actually has her own little family now, you know, her same husband. And now I think she has a kid, which is really good, according to Pat. But this video is about Pat, not Jen. But, you know, I still wanted to say that Jen's doing great. But Pat, on the other hand, is not. The body cam footage, I'm going to explain it right now. The body cam footage is basically these 2 officers walking up to this guy just laying down randomly amongst like the sidewalk. He was just apparently sleeping. There was a call where a girl thought this guy was dead, and she really wanted him checked out. And of course they went over there. They said, hey buddy, are you okay? And it's Pat. He's just laying there basically blackout drunk. You know what I mean? He's basically saying, just give me 5 minutes. I really just don't want to wake up right now. Please just give me a little bit. And of course them just saying, okay, but we need to know where you came from, who you are. Eventually he gets up saying, hi, my name is Patrick, you know, saying his last name. And they're like, okay, yeah, where do you live? And he says it like, oh, I live here. And they're like, dude, that's a long way from here. What are you doing here? Like, that's a 20-minute run. If you ran, if you quickly just went, that's 20 minutes away. What are you doing right here? And he's like, I don't know. I was dropped off. And they're like, dropped off? What why did they drop you off here? This isn't where you live. And, you know, he's just blackout. He's drunk. And he's like, I don't know. I was just dropped off. That's all I know. And he was trying to stand up. He couldn't really get up. And they were like, okay, just sit down. Tell us more of your information. Let me write down your name. And he's like, how do you spell that? And he's like, here, just let me spell it. I know how to spell my last name. It'll be easier for both of us. So Pat grabs the notepad and spells his name. And, you know, he finally gets up. They're basically talking to him, saying, like, are you sure you don't know how you got here? And he's like, no. And then Pat keeps saying, am I arrested? I really don't want to be arrested again. And they're like, no, you're not arrested, man. You're not arrested. We're just trying to figure out where you came from and trying to get you help. Can you call an Uber maybe? And he's like, yeah, I'll call an Uber. I'll try to get out of here. I'm sorry. I don't mean to bother you. I'll get out of your hair. and he tries to call it, but as soon as he opens his phone, it's dead. And he doesn't even realize he's dead. That's how drunk he is. He's tapping on his phone, a dead phone, and he's like, dude, your phone's dead. He's like, wait, well, what? He's like, yeah, your phone's dead, man. And he looks at his phone. He's like, oh yeah, it is dead, huh? Like, he's just out of it. And they're like, just like, what? Like, the cops are like, dude, what? Okay. And, you know, they're confused because, like, damn, this guy's really out of it. Eventually, Pat starts to get cold since it is kind of cold these summer nights, or these somewhat spring summer nights. And they're like, hey, do you want to warm up in my car a little bit? And Pat's like, yeah, can I warm up? I'm actually really cold. He's like, yeah. But first, can I check your bag to see if you don't have any weapons that could maybe poke me or, you know, stab me? And Pat's like, no, yeah, of course. Please check my bag. Yeah, you can. I just need to sit somewhere. And he's like, all right, yeah, of course. So, you know, he's sitting in the back of the car. He grabs his bag, gives it to the officer, and he starts to look through it. And the officer finds one big bottle of booze, just this, I think it's called a Fireball or something like that, is what they kept referencing it, and the little body cam footage, and a whole jar of marijuana, just weed, just sitting there. And they're like, yep, I called it. I knew he had some sort of drugs. He was so out of it. And the cops are like, what? And he's like, look, dude. And boom, weed. And eventually they pull Pat out, and they're like, yo, we found weed. We're going to have to detain you or, you know, arrest you. So they stand him up. They stand him next to this little light pole, and they're like, all right, stay still or put these handcuffs on you. And then for some reason, Pat, because he's, you know, he said he's like, I don't want to go back. He tries to run. He tries to just sprint from the cops. He just tries to run. And the cops, of course, already have a grab of him. They're just trying to drag him down, saying, what are you doing? Stop. And he just keeps trying to run. He's like, I don't want to go back. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to go back. Just saying these terrible, sad things, you know, these heartbreaking things. And they're like, we're going to tase you if you don't stop. Eventually, they finally calm him down and stop him. And then he's like, I'm done. I'm not resisting. But they keep, like, putting pressure. And he's like, you're hurting me. You know, all the sad police officer stuff, you know. And eventually, they finally handcuff him. And they put him in the cruiser. They start doing more research on him, and apparently, you know, he has another arrest. The whole running the court thing, or not the court, running the field thing, you know, like when he, back in 2022, where he ran a field because he was paid or something like that. And they found that out. And then they also found out about his YouTube channel because, you know, he was really popular when he first got arrested. Everyone was really sad. And he was like, wait a minute, is this YouTube boy, you know, the guy who did all that YouTube shit on the Minecraft stuff? And one of the cops, he didn't believe him. He was like, nah, it can't be him. And he went to actually just go ask him. The window was already rolled down, and he asked him, he was like, hey, are you that gamer guy? You know, you uploaded these Xbox clips. And PopularMMO's was like, Xbox? I didn't do Xbox. What are you talking about? And he's like, oh, what did you do? He's like, I did Minecraft. And he's like, so you are him. And he just walks away. You know, he's like, he just walks to a cop and says, yeah, that's our YouTube boy. That's what they keep referring him as, YouTube boy. I kind of like, I don't know. It's just like they're like, you know, YouTube this, YouTube that, Minecraft this, Minecraft that. You know, they were just kind of making fun of him. How, oh, he's this guy who's big and he died off, you know, and he's doing all this scummy stuff now. And that just broke my heart because these officers of the law are just treating Pat kind of like shit, kind of like making fun of his situation. You know what I mean? And it's heartbreaking. It's like, dude, this guy's at his lowest, right? He went through two really bad fucking breakups, and these cops are just making fun of him. You know what I mean? Like, oh, his YouTube is dead. This guy just isn't who he is anymore. He's just this deadbeat like all the others, yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, why did our officers, like, of the law, the biggest, like, highest law, treating a person who's went through so many breakups to people who he thought loved him, betrayed him? Like, there was these two other girlfriends after Jen, because, you know, Jen was basically the only really kind and good girlfriend to him, really, actually, if I know what I'm thinking about it. And these girls just used him for his clout, and then, like, eventually they just turned on him, saying that he was an abuser, he didn't do shit right, that he was a cheater, and all this stuff. And it was so bad that actually Jen had to come back and say that he wasn't any of this, that they're lying, that when they were together, they were happy. But, you know, of course, the whole kid thing happened, and they had to break up. And it's just like, wow. Like, 'cause when that shit came out, I was already distraught, right? Like, a YouTuber I used to watch as a kid, going through all this, like, right? Like, I didn't know if I should believe them or not, right? And then he was basically saying, you shouldn't believe him. Don't believe everything you hear. And he got off of it, right? The girls faded away, and he was just kind of like just chilling on his own some. Didn't upload until 2023, where he uploaded with a good friend of his named, I think it was Mike. And they tried uploading these podcast videos. He tried doing this podcast channel for like, I think maybe like, I think a year or so. I would say a year. No, it was like maybe a month, and that's it. It was really short, but it was him and Mike doing these podcasts, talking about these party stories and his life and stuff like that. And honestly, that just like I rewatched them when I saw these TikTok clips of this body cam footage, and I was just so sad on how bad his life really was after the breakup with Jen. For instance, Pat said he had social anxiety, and when they first broke up, that he kind of like, I think he said he cried for an hour before entering a grocery store because he was so used to doing everything with his partner, Jen. And now that she's gone, he's scared to do all this stuff alone. You know what I mean? Like, it's new to him, and he was just trying to get used to it. And then, I don't know. I don't know how he got into it, but eventually got into partying. He always said that if he were to retire from YouTube and stuff, he wouldn't want to, like, he wouldn't want to retire. You know what I mean? Like, because he could at his young age. I think he's like 35 now, I believe. He can retire. Literally, he can just stop doing everything he was doing and just live off the money he had because he invested it in really good positions, and he could just sit back and relax. But he said, if I were to retire at a young age, I would have nothing that I'd really want to do. You know what I mean? I'd just be wasting my life away. So I'm guessing his thing was partying. You know what I mean? Maybe he met Mike. He was a frat guy or something, and he just started partying with him. And he was his best friend. And then they made the podcast and stuff like that. But just seeing all this body cam footage that got released a couple days ago, that's why this is all popular. This happened actually in the beginning of 2024. This happened in that, like, the beginning there. I think somewhere around there. And then now the body cam footage came out, and we see the bigger picture. Honestly, I didn't even know he was arrested for a second time until this body cam footage. And me just, like, this whole thing, I'm going to be dead ass. This whole thing made me re-watch these old videos that he used to upload. And it's so heartbreaking seeing him so happy with Jen and what he's doing and all his fans and stuff and all these books that he made. I see him now with a broken man, drunk and maybe high off of these drugs, and just him saying, when the police were tackling him, saying, I just can't do it anymore, man. It's just like he's just saying, I can't do it. And it's like, wow. I wanted to cry. I was actually trying to resist tears because I kept thinking about those old memories with him and Jen, right? And a lot of people were saying that it was he misses Jen. I don't know if he really does or not. I mean, I kind of believe him when he says I'm over Jen. I think he really liked those two girls, right? At least he tried to like the first one. Then she turned on him and, fucked him over practically, like saying, oh, you're an abuser, you're this. And then the second girl trying to accuse him for abuse, seeing like, and then like her beating him too. I think there's some things like because he would say he had bruises and scratches all over him because that girl would, she was mentally unstable. She would hurt him, and that has to take a mental toll to you. You get out of a relationship with Jen for 10 years and trying to find love again, and you're seeing that your ex-partner is finding it so easily because in the span of like 4 years when they broke up and stuff, Jen, like I said, has a family. She has all this stuff, and he's just struggling with all this. I just feel bad for Pat, and I wanted to make a video about it to tell you guys and to kind of tell a little bit more people of what's going on with Pat. If him, PopularMMO's, it really doesn't sit right with me. And me seeing the cops practically bully a man who's at his fucking lowest, you know what I mean? It just doesn't sit right with me. And I don't support Pat for what he did. I'm not trying to sit here and say free Pat. I think he kind of deserved what he got, jail time. Like, he shouldn't have ran from the cops. He shouldn't do that. But I just don't think cops should rub salt in the wound. You know what I mean? Just being like, oh yeah, you did this and this, and it's, I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. More people covered this. For instance, Charlie, Penguin Zero, he covered this. A lot of TikTokers covered this. A lot of people are making sad edits on TikTok saying, my childhood. And I agree with it, man. It's hard to watch a video, when you go back to these old videos you used to watch as a kid for like nostalgia purposes and stuff like that. But now when I'm going back at it, I want to cry because I know how one of them ends up. He ends up on the floor on a fucking sidewalk saying shit like, I don't want to wake up. It's heartbreaking, man, you know? It's really heartbreaking, and I just wanted to make a video about it because, God, man, Pat, man, really, it's just a lot. And other things, you know, there's other, you know, all that other drama and shit. It's a lot, you know?